Miles Morales is Miles Morales. Peter Parker is Spider Man. Now that I have your attention, let's talk about Disney's recent show, Disney Plus's recent show that is Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider Man. Now, I made a video a couple weeks ago, maybe a month or so ago, addressing the first couple episodes, how I felt about it, and my thoughts have sort of been consistent ever since. Excuse me. And yeah, if you go back and watch that video, you'll get most of my thoughts. But here's what I'll say about this show. It was pretty decent. I didn't hate it. One thing I'll say about Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider Man is there are people at Marvel Studios who clearly like Marvel Comics. It's pretty clear that they like Marvel Comics. They just don't like how white they are. And that seems to be the best way I can really describe this. Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man is a great homage to both the MCU's version of Spider-Man and Spider-Man comics in general. You know, it's they understand the fundamental aspect of Spider-Man in which we understand responsibility. You know, Spider-Man's juggling of his internship at Oscorp, high school, his responsibilities as Spider-Man, his home life, his friends. Those are fundamental aspects of Spider-Man's character that this show gets right. Unfortunately, that's where a lot of the good stuff really ends, right? Fight scenes, okay. You know, character designs, all right. But the problems really come at, how Disneyfied, Disney Marvel this really is. The animation, I'm not a huge fan of the animation. It looks weird. Maybe that's just me, but I think the animation looks weird. Sure, I get it. It's an alternate universe. They're doing the whole what if thing. Uh, but too much tokenization. The fact that we have to have Tombstone be a black teen that is not albino and also technically not a bad guy either. Like he was forced into being a bad guy because racism or something. We had to race swap Norman and Harry Osborn because white people can't have froey hair for whatever reason, um, and make them also not as villainous. We had to do time travel. We had to do quantum quantum tunnels and the whole what's it called uh, time loops. Where the first episode gets paid off in the last episode because there's a time loop. You know how Spider-Man gets his origins is through a spider coming through a portal after Doctor Strange fights a symbiote, right? That was so dumb how the spider went through a portal like that. But we see in the final episode of this 10 episode series that Spider-Man and Doctor Strange team up to fight the symbiote, and they open up a portal that leads to the first episode. So they do a time loop, and it's just stupid, right? And I like the references to other MCU projects like Civil War, Homecoming, and the Avengers, right? And Age of Ultron, but it feels like it's just too much Disney Marvel, and also demon worshipping tarot card gender bended, Ned Leeds. I don't know anything about this Nico character really, but the drama, the love drama between her and Harry Osborn, ugh, I don't care. I don't care about that crappy stuff, man. I don't. Where's Mary Jane? Where's a proper Gwen Stacy? You know, uh, I don't get that. Like it's just what else? Scorpion? Okay. I'll give it to you. Scorpion was done all right. Doc Ock, he looked good. But we had incel Dr. Octopus, which I thought was extremely lame. Charlie Cox does the voice of Daredevil, and he has the black costume and he fights Spider Man for one sequence. One sequence. He's only in there for like 5 minutes, and he really doesn't do anything. He's not important to the show at all. We see in the final episode he has a sidekick, Finesse. Okay, I guess I'll wait for season two. We have a cliffhanger of seeing that maybe Spider-Man's father is alive and he's in jail, which is crazy. Um, I'll give the show credit that there's clearly people at Marvel that enjoy Marvel comics. And the show is not insufferably woke like Vilma. It could have easily been as bad as Vilma, but thank God it wasn't, because I managed to not turn away and just say, screw it, I'm done, I'm not reviewing this. That does not give this show a pass for me. This is still Disney Marvel. It's filled with the tokenization of characters that is unnecessary, um, the humiliation of other characters, and just the general modernity crap that I don't want to see as a Spider-Man fan. Now I know people will be like, "Oh, it's a modern time. Oh, it's a different universe." That's cope. That's cope from people that need to change the identity of characters because it's important to them because they're freaking racist. Okay. Sure, I have the 90s Spider Man cartoon, which is easily the best series of Spider Man, the best animated series of Spider Man that there is the 90s cartoon. Um, but at the same time, I'm wondering, why doesn't Sony just do a Tobey Maguire, Sam Raimi TV show? Get Tobey Maguire back, have 8 to 10 episodes of Spider-Man, and who needs a Spider-Man 4 when you can do a TV series about Peter Parker Spider-Man with Tobey Maguire and Sam Raimi? Why not do that instead of this? Wasting all your money on shitty animation like this to tell a really mediocre story that is just like, it's just average, right? I can't hate this show. I've exhausted my energy to hate it, in spite of its willingness to say fuck white people. Every time they gender swap or race swap a character that was traditionally white, it's not about being inclusive. It's not about having elevating diverse voices. It's about erasing white people. That's what it's about. Like I said, they like Marvel Comics. They just hate how white they are, and it's disgusting every time they do it because it demeans and degrades the diverse people that they're trying to tokenize. At the same time, it demeans and degrades the white people that they're trying to erase. So it's a no-win scenario, regardless of how good the story's at. I rolled my eyes and nearly threw up in my mouth when I saw Kurt Connors become a black lesbian. I don't know if she's actually lesbian, but let's be real, it probably is. I'm not trying to sound racist here. Identity doesn't matter to me, but if identity's not supposed to matter, then why would you change it? Why does it matter to these people so much that the identity of white characters has to be changed? And whenever you do it vice versa, it's whitewashing, it's racist. These people are crazy. So again, that's all I could think about when watching the show was, okay, decent, mediocre, but okay story with characters I can't really be invested in. Not because they're bad characters, not because they're not done well. It's just that it's mostly tokenizations and modern crap that I can't really just I can't let this get a pass. Will I watch a season 2? I mean, if I bear myself to do it, sure. But I can't say that I give this show a pass. So those are my really thoughts. I don't really have much more to add because I was so I was so done with it. I'm glad I got it over with. So if you want a good, decent Spider-Man story that's, faithful to the comics, if you can handle tokenization, then this is the show for you. If not, if you say the tokenization is a dead no-go for me, then it's really not worth it. I just say go watch the 90s cartoon instead. So I can't really give this a verdict of terrible dog shit, it's rotten, versus being fresh. It's somewhere in the middle. It's somewhere in the middle. So let me know what y'all think in the comments down below. Like, share, comment, subscribe. I really don't have much more to add to this. Just a mediocre, dumb, not to mention the steroid Brock Lesnar Russian chick that they had to add in there. Yeah, mostly identity politics with a good story. That doesn't make it acceptable to me. But yeah, let me know what y'all think. I'll see y'all in a video very soon. Oh, crack.